Hey, what's going on, guys? DFS Warstrike here, and here I'm going to be breaking down the two-game slate for CSGO for the CS Summit semi-finals here on Draftkings. The grand final will be played later on Sunday afternoon. It is going to be a $200,000 prize pool. So typically how I'm going to do this is I'm going to go by team. We'll start with the first game, and I'll typically just give you my favorite plays through there. If you want to read my article and you want to find out my favorite stacks and my core and which way I'm leaning, you can follow me in my Discord. If you want the link to my Discord, you can DM me on Twitter, which I'll put the link down below. And other than that, let's get cracking, guys. So my first game is going to be VP versus Mouse Sports. So Virtuous Pro, starting with them, my top play is probably going to be Jamie. If you look at Jamie, he's been number one in the tournament when it comes to his rating. I mean, he's putting up monster numbers here. He's put up 82, 67, 86. He's just really killing the slate, and I'm really feeling Jamie for this one. Let's see. Sorry about that. Buster, to me, I'm not really a big fan of Buster going into this slate. He's a safe option. I think he's really safe, but other than that, like, he's not really aggressive, so it really holds himself back when it comes to getting his fantasy points. I think he's a safe, viable option, but I just don't really see him putting up huge numbers. As you can see here, 50 and 53 his last game. He did have an 84 against Nip, but it kind of showed that it's slowed down as he's going forward. So I'm not really a big fan of Buster, considering that he's the highest priced guy for VP. Yukonder right here, I actually do like. The reason for that is you can see he had a bad game against Snip as he dropped 45, but the 73 and the 77, if you look at the first kill stats, he goes in, I think when I looked at it, over 34% were entry kills, and he really, that's 0.5 points to add to DK scoring. I think he was one of the top leaders when it comes to kills on the team for this tournament. So Yukonder I really like, especially at 6,600. You can save money here, which money to me wasn't really a factor in building lineups on this slate. So starting off there, those would probably be my top two. And then quicker down here at 6,400. He is another viable option that I do like here. As you can see, he had 81 and a 77, both against Nip. But I do like quicker here, as I think he's just been, I think he has the 5th highest rating in this tournament with the team. He also becomes third in kills. I really think that he can be viable for this option if you are going to do a 3-stack with VP. Typically, the best way to do lineups that I tell people in my Discord, 3-3 is the most chalky. So if you want to get different, a 3-2-1 is probably the best viable option. You choose your 3-stack to be the team that you think is going to sweep. You want your 2 and your 1 off to have high scores. So those would be my viable option. If you choose to do a 3-stack towards VP, it would be Jamie, Yukonder, and Quicker probably for me. Sanji is probably going to be a fade for me. I'm not going to have too much of Sanji, although he hasn't been bad for his price tag. I just don't think Sanji is going to be for me, especially when I think I can get better players when I don't have a problem with the pricing. Moving over to Mouse Sports, little surprised at the pricing considering how great Frozen has been. I didn't think Frozen would be $1,000 under here, but I mean, if you look, the 52 points, I mean, that was really just because I think they've swept everybody they've played so far. I mean, he had 106 and 64, and I'm expecting this game to be a battle between the two. So I do like Frozen here. He has the least deaths on the team, and like I said, second in kills. So Frozen is probably my top option for Mouse Sports if you are leaning towards Mouse. My second guy would be Ropes, as Ropes, he's viable option. He's their top player. He's been their best player for a while now. 68 and 66, it's viable, but like, again, to me, like, that's not outstanding numbers for somebody that's 8,800. I think Frozen being a grand cheaper and putting up a little bit better numbers, I'm willing to take my shots with Frozen. A-Core, I'm kind of iffy on. I'm probably going to take backseat for majority of my lineups. He just, I think he's still trying to find his groove into the team. So really here, I just don't really think it's going to be an option for me to play him here. 7,600 too, I think is a little pricey, and he's going up against a team that's really hot right now. I mean, I think VP's won like 11 of their last 12 matchups over January and December. So I'm probably not going to have too much of him. Linus as well. He's just too cautious, too safe. It's not really for me. As you can see here, 36, 28, 34. Not really high kills for me. I'm going to look to go more into it, as I don't think he puts up bad scores, but considering that pricing isn't really a problem on this slate, I'm going to try to stack up as much high scores as I can. I actually do like Kerrigan at 5,200. I mean, Kerrigan 73 fantasy points, 82.62. I mean, he's really tearing it up right now, and at 5,200, I can't really pass on that. I think he's like the second highest rated player, I think, in the tournament. So I'm really liking Kerrigan here at 5,200. If I choose to do a three stack, I'm probably going to have Kerrigan involved in that. But other than that, guys, that's going to be it for my first game. So let's go over to Heroic side as they take on Fnatic. Both teams are pretty much like the first one, pretty equal, pretty tight. It's going to be a pretty good game. I think Heroic's ranked number 6 and Fnatic's ranked 16. Staven is probably going to be a fade for me. Staven just hasn't really looked like himself since the 2021 season started, so I'm probably not going to play Staven. I just don't think he's really going to provide numbers for the 8,200 when I can go down, and I'll explain why I'm going to go cheaper with them. KDN has probably been their best play here since the start of the year. I mean, he's put up 64 and 84 his last two games. His first kills have been actually pretty high, 5 and 14. And remember, you get points for those, so it's very valuable to have that. I think that Heroic has kind of been iffy up and down this whole tournament for me, at least. That sometimes they're impressive, sometimes you're like, okay, that's not what a high ranked team looks like. So KDN to me would probably be the safer option here. I think he's had back to back with the 40K or 40 kills when we looked at it. Let's see. Yeah, 63 kills, 41. So, I mean, he is a viable option for us here if you do like them. And I mean, he's only $200 cheaper, but I think he's putting up better numbers than Staven right now. So I think he should be at the top. Tessus, I know he leads the team in kills at 7K too. I think if you're going to do a three stack, you probably are going to want Tessus in it because of the kills that he gets. If you look here, he had 37, 57, 37. Like that 57 was huge. He's also done very well with the first kills to begin. So, I mean, I really like him here. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. It's 50, 38, 58, 36. So I do like him here. I think he is a viable option. His first kills are high, like we talked about. He did have a 99 point against MIBR the first time. I think that was the sweep that they had. So I do like Tessus here. Nico would probably be my third guy if I was going to do a three stack. If you can see at 46, 54, 42, he struggled here in the first game, right? He had 29. But after that, he kind of settled in 42, 54, 46, 70, 53, 53 at 6,800. If I'm going for a three stack, that's probably going to be my third best option here. Borup, I'm probably not going to touch. I'm not really just, yeah, I mean, his highest since coming back is 54 points. That's not really for me, especially the 5K range. If I can just go down and get Kerrigan at that price. So Kerrigan probably will be the best play for me at the 5K too. But Borup is probably going to be a fade. Jumping over to Fnatic. Crims has been incredible, man. I mean, he's been coming out swinging hard, really carrying this team and pushing them to this semifinal. I really do like Crims. I think Crims is a great option here for anybody that wants to do that. He has a third highest rating in the whole tournament as well. I think he blows his team out of the water when it comes to kills in the new year. So I don't really think this is close for me here. Crims would be my top dog to play for Fnatic. Brawlin would probably be second, as much as, that's a little high price. That you're getting, around $17,000 just with these two. Pricing isn't really a problem, so I really don't have an issue putting these two together. Brawlin has kind of found his groove, I think, as well. Looking here, I think he struggled. Yeah, he struggled last game, but then you see the 61 kills, the 72 fantasy points, 80. Like, I mean, I'm really for him here. I think that he's down at a decent price, and if I'm going to stack this team or whatever I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to have more than Krems, Brawlin probably will be second, and I'm about to show you why. JW just has not been good in 2021. So JW probably isn't going to be for me. If you can see, look at that, 38 fantasy points, 39 fantasy points. He did have a good 54-point game, but I'm not really feeling him right now. I mean, this was 3 maps and 42 kills, 25 against Complexity, and that was a sweep. And he did have a good game here against OG. But JW to me is just not really viable right now. If I had to go to a 3 stack, it would probably Jack and Ho. I think that's how you say his name. Not too sure. He's kind of new here to the scene. This is his first tournament playing with Fnatic, so I do think that he could be probably your viable option. He's low priced, 60 fantasy points his last outing. As you can see, he dropped 57 kills and 58 kills in his last 2 matchups. I do think that he's viable here. If you want to do a 3 stack, he's probably my third guy to go with. Golden, I'm probably not really going to touch that much. I don't think he's terrible. I just think Jack is probably better. As you can see, he only got 58 kills in 1 match since the CS Summit started. So those would be my top 3 dogs for each team to go with. That's really who I'm gonna have exposure to. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can DM me on Twitter if you want to join in on my Discord with me and my partner. We do so much. We do basketball, football, UFC, golf, CSGO, you name it, we do it. Just DM me on Twitter. We give out cores. I have my article that I release strictly to my Discord, and it typically gives out, my stacks, my core, and my favorite plays, and I'm answering questions firsthand personally. So thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to learn more, you know where to hit me up. Thank you guys.